What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Oblivion. My name is Dusty Lane,
I'm Jason Mitchell.
and we are the Cenobites back for another quick spoiler-free reaction video in preparation for an interview we've got scheduled in just a couple days with actress Jasmine Kheen. We
Yeah.
are covering lightly.
The R.I.P. man.
Yeah, stands for Rest in Pain, by the way. Don't get it twisted. Directed by our buddy Jamie Langlands, who also directed The Cellar, which I loved when we watched it for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Co-written by Reese Thompson. They just had the world premiere last week, last Sunday, September 7th, actually.
Yeah, it's awesome. They let us get a screener of this, so we're just gonna talk about it for a second and
Yeah.
not spoil anything for anybody.
No, we'll do our best anyway. Yeah, we literally just watched this movie. Give me some initial thoughts, knee-jerk reaction. What did you think about this one overall?
It was different. It still had some kind of slasher aspect to it, but just overall, the story was a little different, and we'll get into that a little bit.
Kind of
But
half slasher, half crime drama, almost film noir in places.
right, right,
We know Jamie really likes the almost like giallo aesthetic as far as like the colors he uses are concerned. I
yeah.
really love that aspect. It's so artfully done, so dramatic, and it's something that always strikes a chord with me for sure.
Yeah, it had a lot of Cellar vibes just because
Very
of the
much.
dramatic cut, but they know what they're doing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
I will say if you have any issues with going to the dentist, if you get a little squeamish, maybe proceed with caution. This one might not be right up your alley, but yeah, overall, I would say this movie is incredibly well done. My hat is off. Well, it's not, but I mean, it could be. Um, let's get into a little bit of this without spoiling very much. Like, first of all, that cold open, which I think they sent out in sort of a trailer format, which is the first scene that I saw initially of this.
Right.
I really enjoy the way they approached it. It's pretty straightforward
Yeah.
overall, but the tone is set very well in that first, couple of minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You get an introduction to the killer, of course, who I would say, in terms of the character design for the R.I.P. man himself, overall, he's a pretty creepy killer, I would say. There's one element of his character design that I wasn't crazy about personally. And overall, he kind of gave at times a little bit of an Uncle Fester vibe.
Right.
But I mean, I think he did pull it off well. He was more of a casual killer, I would say, in terms of the approach of his. He was just very nonchalant
Right.
about the way that he attacked everyone.
He
He
was
almost let his surroundings do a lot of the work for him at times
he
too.
was a bit of a stalker for a bit
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I think the aesthetic that we're talking about is unusual, but that's what makes him stand out too, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. And overall, even though he presents a little bit goofy at first, I believe his backstory really brings it around and kind of brings it full circle to where some of those elements that I wasn't sold on immediately are explained in a way that I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well,
Right.
I can handle that. He's got a couple of cool elements to him. He sort of uses tech for his kill setups, as well as a calling card in the form of a
Right.
little toy that keeps recurring, which is a really cool aspect considering what he takes for trophies after he's done with his kills. Was this guy, did he ever play hockey? I think they might have missed an opportunity with
Right.
he could have been like maybe, he was mad at all the fights that he got in on the ice and, lost all them teeths. But
It's Canada, not Europe, though.
right. I do like, however, that this character is strong and cunning, but not supernatural. The approach overall is super simple at the root of it.
The brute, Jesus.
But in terms of an origin story for the killer, I like that there are details to flesh out, but you don't have to engage your brain that strongly the entire time to grasp what's happening. It's a pretty classic slasher vibe, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I like that there's a lot of, like you said, the story. We actually get story in this movie compared to some of the stuff we've been covering recently with just our little summer trip of, all the campy stuff,
Right, yeah.
and we're kind of back into some of that psychological horror. There's
There's definitely some
suspense
thriller elements
happening
for
here,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
In terms of the killer himself and what he does, I think there are some pretty decent practical effects. We've got Lizzie Horror and Charlotte Marshall doing the makeup in this movie. I think there's some pretty decent gore in this. I think it's edited
Yeah,
nicely. There's a few pretty inventive kills in it. It gets a tad
yeah.
gruesome in certain places, honestly. In terms of Jamie's movies thus far, the cinematography has always stood out. In The Cellar, we had Richard Anthony Dunford at the helm, and this one it's Morgan Andrews with Richard doing some second unit stuff.
Okay.
And as always, there's like a lot of strong color, like The Cellar, dramatic angles, really professionally done, very polished in terms of camera work. There might be a shot here and there that leaves a little bit to be desired. There's a couple of dark shots in here, but
Hmm.
I think overall, I mean, I can't complain too much. I was really impressed. It's very
Yeah,
artfully shot.
yeah, it was great.
In terms of score and sound design, helmed by Christian Parias. Overall, really good. Nice tense score throughout. I like the inclusion of the take of the Dies Irae that sort of represents, it's a recurring theme for the killer throughout the movie. So, that classic, da, 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 da,
Right. Okay.
Dies Irae. It's like an ancient, I'm not sure where its origins are, but it's used in more things than you can count. I mean, it's been in everything. Most famously, perhaps, in terms of horror, for The Shining. That
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah. So
I know what you're talking about
it's
now.
basically a musical phrase that is designed to elicit those feelings of dread in whoever's watching it. And damn it, it works.
Right.
We've also got some needle drops in this movie of what I assume to be a local British band in the Sussex area. Outpost 3, they were called, I believe.
Yeah, they
They,
did all the music for everything, and
yeah.
we even had a title song, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was definitely an R.I.P. man song for sure.
Yeah, need to have more of that in these movies, man. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I like a good theme song.
Bring back the 80s.
There might have been some audio issues in certain places with the mix, particularly toward the beginning of this movie, but I think it evens itself out pretty nicely.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's everything was really impressive. You can tell that this ain't their first movie, you know.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. One thing that I will say, sometimes with indie movies, the hardest hurdle to clear is the acting. A lot of times it's way oversold, very melodramatic, and to the point of feeling forced and cheesy.
Right.
I don't think that's the case with either of Jamie's movies I've seen so far. His casting is phenomenal, and I'm not gonna say it's cheese free. There's maybe a moment here and there in this, but overall, yeah, his casting is excellent. Everyone plays their roles extremely well. There's a lot of familiar faces and names in this. Shout
Right.
out in particular to Megan Adara. Hi,
Hey,
Megan.
hey.
We've had her on the show twice. She's always lovely to have on. Jamie Langlands himself plays a character in this, DC Stewart Townsend.
Yeah, I knew it was him right away too, man.
Yeah. We're cheering in the living room. Hey, it's Jamie. I would say he holds the screen really well, in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
As does Jasmine Kheen, who we've got coming on the pod in just a couple of days, as we mentioned. Looking forward to that. But yeah, overall, I think this is something that they have got figured out in terms of an indie movie. They've got more of a budget and well-versed crew to work with, which
yeah,
elevates it to a level that it doesn't really feel indie anymore. It feels like, maybe a half a step below, a big top tier studio, big budget production like that.
right. That's what I was gonna say too, is the acting is fantastic and kind of pulls you away from you almost forget that this is an indie film,
A
you
thousand
know?
percent, yeah.
It's great.
In terms of those characters, a little bit of plot, a little bit of the character arcs. I like how there are details for you to chew on throughout this movie, but you also aren't required to engage your brain the entire time. Like I said, if you want to just kick back for an easy watch with a new slasher, this is a good option for you to throw on for sure.
Yeah,
I think there are some cool elements at play here with how our main group deals with grief and trauma and coping to the overall events of this film. Like you said, there are a lot of psychological thriller aspects to this as
yeah,
well. But
right.
overall, I think this is an excellent film. It may not be big budget, top tier studio production, but I got to tell you, in terms of quality, you can't get much better than this before you arrive at those levels.
Right.
I think I would give this one 9.7 out of 10 R.I.P. mouth guards.
How about a just really big mouth guard?
Keeping in mind that we are scoring an indie movie here, You know, I hope there was a standing ovation at the premiere. I feel like it's absolutely deserved. I'm sorry we missed it. I would have loved to have attended.
Right.
But alas, we did not, and here we are, doing a nice quick reaction video to it. We'd love to talk more in depth about this. But yeah, in just a couple of days here, we've got Jasmine Kheen coming on. We're really looking forward to that, even more so after watching her performance in this movie. And unless you have any final thoughts to wrap up, I think that's going to about do it for us.
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, tune in a couple of days to catch our interview with Jasmine, everybody. And until then, as always, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
I bid you welcome.